Today on Black Man Who Makes Comics Bad, Eric July has done about the worst possible thing ever in the history of comic book making. That's right, he made a video promoting other comic books and other independent creators, trying to get them exposure and help them out. Yes, I know that ordinarily this would be something that would be applauded, but because Eric July has done it, my friends, Ethan Van Sciver's Simps are so mad. It is a terrible thing. It's a travesty. It's an affront to comic books. And that is so funny. These people just melt down over absolutely nothing. And a big shout out to Eric July and the Rippaverse for doing this video. Fantastic. A lot of books in here are really great. And I really appreciate that Eric shouted out The Hidden Emperor, my new graphic novel, on Kickstarter especially. Now, if you're not familiar with me, my name's John Delarose, everybody. I would love for you to hit this like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things in independent comics and mainstream comics. And we are trying to fight against the mainstream. We are an alternative to Marvel and DC. It's like Eric July said when he started his business, it is a parallel economy that we're building. And like Eric July, I'm one of the few out there that's actually just making graphic novel after graphic novel, just producing page after page. I have got 12 out right now, and we're aiming to have another year where we put out 4 or 5 next year, in addition to exclusive books that I'm putting out for Subscribestar and Patreon. People, we are real comic folk here, real readers, real creators, and that's what we do. We're all about this, and we're not just trying to just grift off super chats by spending hours and hours and hours on streams attacking other creators like they're doing over in Ethan's camp right here. And that's why they're mad. Like, Eric and I are doing things that nobody else is doing in this sphere. We're creating full lines. We're not just creating books. We're creating full worlds. We're not just doing a single character, doing a single book, spending 2-3 years pretending like we're working on it like some people, and then not fulfilling. People are sick of that. People want real alternatives to Marvel and DC, and that means people who actually come out with content. So I appreciate you guys for all the support you've given us, all the Rippaverse fans out there who have also supported us since we started with Overmind a couple of years ago. I know there's a lot of crossover, and I appreciate you guys for being there. And I especially appreciate Eric July for shouting out this project, which is on Kickstarter right here. So like I said, this is The Hidden Emperor, and I built this originally as an alternative to Star Wars. We have a beautiful redhead protagonist for a reason, and it's because they were erasing all the redheads in media. They still are. It hasn't changed over the course of the last several years. Mary Jane got replaced by Zendaya. We know that The Little Mermaid was a very poignant one that got replaced out there. Every single one, even non-redheads now. Black Cat's getting replaced in Ultimate Marvel Comics at this juncture. It is a real thing. So our important thing was to bring back the gingers because we love it. And on top of that, we know that Marvel and DC Comics are making women unfeminine characters. They're trying to make them androgynous. They look like boys. It's happening in Warhammer 40k too. They just came out with the Adeptus Custodes cartoon, which has a woman who very much looks like a man. Somebody who might walk into GameStop and complain. And so we wanted to bring back that female form that's just nice to look at, because that is classic comics. That's how things go. And so we have beautiful art, a wonderful story. We've built a world here where it's a human empire, and the humanity's exceptional. So I kind of flipped the script on Star Wars. It's a benevolent, good empire, and the rebels are out there trying to tear everything down, subvert everything from the inside. It's much like the woke are doing to America here, and but extrapolated into space. So Ayla Rin is a secret agent. She is fighting on behalf of the Emperor. She is patriotic. She's moral. She's a good hero. That's exactly what we're trying to promote here. And the Emperor has been replaced by a clone, and nobody knows it. She figured it out and saw that he was making bad decisions that are starting to crumble the Empire from the inside. So she has to find the Emperor, bring him back, and stop the nefarious plot from the evil Scorpio Alliance who's trying to subvert the Empire, and that's what we got here. Now, this is a very special book. This is our second book in this series. The first was called Overmind. I recommend you grab the complete Ayla Rin adventures at the very least. But we've done something we've never done before also, and that very few people have done in the comic sphere before. If you go down and scroll down, we have a leather-bound book. So both books are being bound into one, so the Ayla Rin saga here of Overmind and the Hidden Emperor are going to be put into a single leather-bound volume. We are working with Castalia House, who is doing beautiful leather books. And I'm a leather book collector myself. It's one of my things I'm into, and they're gorgeous. The quality is so high, it's unbelievable. About the best bindery I've ever seen in my entire life. And so I'm very thrilled to be working with them, and they're going to be delivering these out for everybody. So I appreciate you being there and grabbing that. Support whatever tier you like, and of course support us here as we're making the real alternative. I know Ethan Van Sciver's been attacking us very, very hard the last few months, trying to get people not to back this book. It's backfired tremendously. This is our best seller we've ever had, and we still have 9 days left to make this really, really go. So thank you so much. It's also got a short comic by Mike Barron joining us in our universe, and a short story by Blaine Pardo from Battletech. Wonderful, wonderful creators. I'm bringing in the best people from science fiction to make this into an epic saga. Thank you so much. Again, that's in the description below. You can check it out. Eric also pointed out a lot of other really cool creators in this book. He of course, talked about Razorfist's Ghosts of the Badlands. He talked about Patrick Parnell's stories there. That guy's got a lot of different books that he's going out with himself. And, of course, it's not loading, so I can't just scroll across this because that's how my California internet works. We're in a communist society. And I guess some people want a communist society where nobody really helps or promotes anybody else of their own volition. It just, I don't understand the deal here. So this came from Rippaverse Goalpost. Of course, they're already complaining about it. They're already whining that Eric July is promoting independent comic books. This is the worst possible thing I've ever seen since Eric July had a sale for his books. Can you imagine a business having a sale? It's about the worst possible thing, except for promoting other people for nothing and not asking anything in return. That is just a criminal offense. So Eric July makes a video dedicated to promoting indie creators, but it's still not good enough. Detractors find a way to complain, and this guy's out there. Does anyone think the people Eric July is shouting out in his independent creators you should check out aren't in any way adjacent to their ball washing and sucking off Eric July in some way? Have you noticed they always make things crude when they're talking about things? Is that we're literally just making comic books. Mine's PG. It's just fun. But they always have to go to this like very, very creepily crude, like it's almost like they're porn addicted or something like that. So that's all they're thinking about, and that's why they're so mad at the internet. They're sitting here terminally online, pounding their keyboards, angry. They're sad that they're not getting any attention positively from anybody, and that's what they want to project onto everybody else. So ridiculous stuff right here. And of course he continues. He never one to not double down. They always double down. For critical thinkers and not gullible sheep, ask yourself why Eric made this video out of the blue. Deflection from his recent debacle stream. Oh no. In reality, Eric July actually, I believe he had knee surgery or hip surgery the other day. He's kind of been offline a little bit, hasn't really been able to do too much in terms of make a lot of content. And so he did this, and he might have recorded it in advance of his surgery. Like this kind of like evergreen content you kind of can put out to keep your channel going while things are going. And so he just did a nice thing for people. And there was no conspiracy behind it. There's no secret society behind it. Nobody's in any DM backrooms or anything like that. It's quite the opposite. Now that exists over in the EVS camp. Like there's like different. He has different tiers of green rooms, which are like little back rooms. There's like the one for the peons, then there's like the middle tier people, then there's the kings, then there's like the secret one for just like the super loyal people. And he actually categorizes these people. When he had his own personal army, they actually had a group called the Elevated, and you'd have to like do different things. You'd get into different Discord groups or whatever in order to and get access at different level. It's a giant pyramid scheme. And since that's happening over in those parts, they assume that's happening everywhere else. It's just not. It's just a bunch of independent creators making our own books, working really hard. And they just can't accept that that's a thing. They can't accept that, hard work actually pays off, that we kind of just notice each other and notice who's doing good work in the spheres. He also talked about Narwhal. Narwhal's another great creator who's just like totally killing it and working really, really hard. I read the first 2 volumes of his book that he's been coming out with very recently, and he's actually doing art for Mark Miller coming out soon. So the people who produce end up hanging out with the people who produce. And the reason is because we, are away from all this crap. We're just making our books. We're having fun. We're doing better than Marvel and DC, and we're definitely doing better than the camp that can't even come out with their books after 3-4 years. Got a 48-page book you crowdfund $500,000 for. You can't even respect your audience enough to just deliver it. We're absolutely crazy. I could never imagine that. Our books are done before they even come out, and that's what we got here in The Hidden Emperor. So this is going to start shipping just a couple of weeks after it closes here. I'm going to get my proof copy of the book very, very shortly. I had to add some pages because we had a stretch goal to add a short comic by Mike Barron, and so I had to get those done, and those colors are getting done this weekend. And then hopefully the letters next week. We format everything next week, send it off to the printer to get a proof copy. And hopefully that proof copy comes in the next couple of weeks when everybody's kind of finalizing their pledges via our pledge manager. And then we just hit go and start shipping. It's magical. It's almost like we run a business for real here, and it's about comics. It's not about anything else. And that's what all these creators have in common. We're all about the comics. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you. Appreciate the tremendous support. Eric July, thank you so much for shouting out this project. Rippaverse fans, come join us too. I'd love to have you on board with us, as well as the Rippaverse stuff. If Eric and I combined, with the amount of books we come out with, you never need to read a Marvel or DC book again. We'll be that habit for you, and we do a better job than them by far. It's in the description below. Thank you again. Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Can you imagine? Why did they make this into a quote bad thing? It's insane. We'll be back soon.